welcome back to my channel. I'm Nadine and this is part 3 of your easy beginner's guide to crochet. In today's video you will learn how to half double crochet. This stitch is by far my favorite stitch of crocheting. It's not too big and not too small, and it's just perfect in every way. You can do almost anything with this stitch. So if you would like to know a little bit more about the half double crochet, please feel free to click over to the blog where you will also find a handy picture tutorial. So after choosing your yarn and hook, we are going to make a slip knot just like we did in the previous video, which was the single crochet. And then we're going to attach it to our hook. Now I'm going to chain 22 for this tutorial. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And you're just going to continue to do this until you have 22. Alright, so for row 1 we need to start our half double crochet in the correct chain. Remember, we don't count the chain on the hook. For the half double crochet we will need a turning chain of 2. And when you work in rows, you always start each row with a turning chain. This helps to maintain the height of our work when you turn. So to begin, we are going to yarn over first. This first yarn over ensures the height of our half double crochet, and you will see just what I mean in a second. So now you are going to count your chains, and we are going to insert our hook into the third chain. So we're going to count 1, 2, and 3. And we are inserting our hook into that third chain. Now you're going to yarn over and pull through the chain, and you have 3 loops on your hook. Yarn over and pull through all 3 loops on your hook. And there you made your very first half double crochet. Well done! So we will now repeat these steps across the entire chain until we reach the last chain. I'm going to show you once more. Yarn over and insert your hook into the next chain. Yarn over and pull through the chain. You have 3 loops on your hook. Yarn over and pull through all 3 loops on your hook. Now you have 2 half double crochets. We are not going to count this chain 2. We are only going to work into the stitches. So now grab your stitch marker and place it into this first stitch. Here's my stitch marker, and I'm going to place it into my first stitch. I'm going to show you once again how to half double crochet. So you're going to yarn over and insert your hook into the next chain. Yarn over and pull through the chain. You have 3 loops on your hook. Yarn over and pull through all 3 loops on your hook. Now you're going to continue half double crocheting down the entire chain, and I will meet you when you reach the end. Alright, so you have just made your first row of half double crochet, and we are going to move on to row 2. So you remember I spoke about the turning chains at the beginning of our rows. We are going to chain 2 now, and we're going to turn our work. So that's yarn over, pull through 1 and 2, and then turn your work. Okay, so we're going to start on row 2 now. You're going to yarn over, and then we're going to insert our hook into the very first stitch. So this stitch is the last half double crochet we made in the previous row. However, for today we are going to crochet into the stitch because we are not counting our turning chain. But some patterns will sometimes state that you count the turning chain, and therefore you are not going to crochet into this stitch, you're going to crochet into the second stitch. But that's just some extra information. For now we are crocheting into our first stitch. So now we are going to insert the hook into the very first stitch, yarn over, and pull through the stitch. 3 loops on our hook, yarn over, and pull through all 3 loops on our hook. And there we have another half double crochet. I'm going to show you again. Yarn over, insert our hook into the next stitch, yarn over, pull through the stitch, 3 loops on the hook, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops on the hook. At this stage I'm going to place my second stitch marker into the first stitch, not counting the turning chain. Okay, so now you're going to continue to half double crochet into each stitch down the entire row, and I will meet you when we reach the stitch marker. So I am now at my last stitch, and I'm going to remove the stitch marker and place my last half double crochet into the last stitch. And there we have our second row done. So before we continue on, I am just going to show you how to count your half double crochets and also how to count the rows. The half double crochet is much easier to count for me because it is a little bit bigger than the single crochet, so it's easier to see the individual stitches. So now I'm going to show you how to count the stitches. So this is where we have our first one, and then you will see here we have our second. That's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. Remember, we have 20 stitches because we skipped 2 stitches at the beginning. So now we have a total of 20 half double crochets. So to count the row, this is our foundation chain. We're not going to count that, but you will clearly see this is row 1 and this is row 2. If you do not see your rows or stitches as clearly as you want to, and you are really a beginner and you're just starting off, I recommend upsizing a hook, going up a hook size. If you are using a 6mm, maybe use a 6.5, just so that you can see how the half double crochet looks. So now we can continue to crochet our half double crochets, and we are going to make 10 rows in total. You can make as much as you want to keep on practicing the half double crochet. I am going to continue until I have 10 rows in total, and I will show you how it looks when I am done. Remember, we are going to chain 2 and then turn our work, then half double crochet into the very first stitch and in each stitch across. Remember to place your stitch marker into the very first stitch we make, and then continue to half double crochet down the entire row, repeating this method until you have a total of 10 rows. I'll meet you back when I'm done. There we go, 10 rows of half double crochet. Let's count it together. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, so now we are going to finish off and weave in our ends. I just want to show you this beautiful, beautiful stitch. And there is so much more you can do with the half double crochet. There is another video that I'm going to link in the corner there, which you can go visit, and it's called the back crossed half double crochet. I will also be sharing much more tutorials on what you can do with the half double crochet in the future. But for now, let's finish off. So now we're going to chain 1, grab your scissors, cut off a piece with a nice tail, and you're going to pull through the yarn. Pull tightly on the little tail there. You can remove your stitch markers, or your stitch marker, your one stitch marker. Okay, and now I'm going to grab my darning needle, and then I'm just going to weave in this end nice and securely. And it's also best that you practice weaving in your ends, because believe me, with crocheting you will start to get used to it. It's not a very fun job to do when you're making stuff like blankets, or even color changing a scarf, or even granny squares, you know, but at the end of the day, it's best to weave in all your ends as much as possible to secure in the yarn, and yeah, it just makes the project look even more finished. Give a little tug, and you're going to cut off the yarn. Oops, and there we go. Now pull nice, and there we go. So now you're going to do the same with this little end. So while I'm weaving in this end, I just want to share with you that I am planning on making a project which we are going to crochet at the end of this series. And you will be using all of the stitches that you are learning in this easy beginner's guide to crochet. So keep on watching the videos, keep on watching the tutorials, and keep an eye out for that project that is coming, and I can't wait to make it with you guys. So I just finished weaving in the end, giving it a little tug, cutting it. And there we have it. That is your tutorial for the half double crochet. So keep an eye on the future videos, but for now, let's move on to the double crochet. I'll see you there. Please like this video and subscribe to my channel. Thank you.